Cast 3. Excellent. Thanks for coming.
Third time.
Thank you for having us.
Just give me a little blurb on your history.
Wow.
Ed.
Okay. Filmmaker from Columbia College here in Chicago. Was doing the feature film thing for a while. Then I was doing commercials with 8-Ball Films back in the day when they were still around. The advertising thing kind of dried up, and I've been starting my own company now for about 3 years. It's called Recurve Media, and we do what we're calling video magazines online. So we're trying to create content and deliver it in an online fashion and monetize that content.
Cool. Anish?
I started in production about 4 or 5 years ago, and then I moved into producing narrative features. I tend to stay in the low budget, micro budget range. We've completed 5 features, and we have 2 in post, and 3 we hope to get off the ground this year.
Michael?
My name's Mike. I'm a Columbia College dropout, and 2 failed companies is my 3rd. It's called Channel Awesome. And basically we just do online video. Our site has been up for a year, and we're pulling in 3 million people a month, so we've gotten pretty big out of not having any funding. So we just produce videos online and distribute them to people.
All right, I'm Steve. I was in photography from 13 years till now. In 1981, I started doing wedding videos. In 1983, I started doing fashion videos in Chicago, which was kind of a new thing. In the 90s, I was doing a lot of corporate video and corporate documentaries. And in 2000, Jens and I started Zacuto. And then in 2005, we started Zacuto USA, where we make indie camera accessories and kits. In 2008, I started doing production again, which I'm loving. We've got this show and 2 new shows that are coming soon. Okay, so now I want to try something I've never tried before. I want to just kind of go around really quickly. And you know how you've seen these things where you go to a psychiatrist and they say, just tell me the very first thing you say.
What do you want me to do?
Just give me your instantaneous thought. Theatrical release.
Online.
Theatrical release.
Distribution.
Domination.
If you can do it, do it. Web video.
What I'm doing, I don't know.
Okay.
YouTube.
The future.
The future. TV.
Dinosaur.
Lost.
Old guard.
The past. DVD.
Dinosaur.
Dated.
Archaic.
Gone. Social networking.
The future.
The future.
Fad.
The future. We are some different people. This is good stuff. The future of video.
Online.
Online.
Wow.
Yeah.
That hurt.
Online with a combination of IPTV.
I say online and TV. I kind of wanted to show how we're different people here. Anish is more in the theatrical end of things, which is fabulous. Although that was a crazy answer that you gave me. I want to talk about that. Tell me about that. Why did you say that?
There's this romanticism about theatrical, and I think that that's really a bloated marketing and advertising way to spend your money, I guess. And I think theatrical, your best case is to break even. Maybe you get a little bit more, but it's all an effort to raise home video and DVD, which we've all sort of said is kind of dated and archaic.
When people ask about you, I say that you remind me of like a Daryl Zanuck, you know? And what you just said is so Hollywood's formula system. Mm-hmm. I want to break even by making my feature in theaters, and I want to make money on home DV. But yet you said that DVD's a dinosaur. Isn't that what you said?
Yeah, absolutely. But I think that that's where it is right now. I mean, I think the way it's moving is digital distribution. I think physical media, I think, is on its way out completely. And I think theatrical will always have a place in culture. It'll always be there. I think we all like that experience. But I think the days of the multiplex, the sort of 40-screen theaters are on their way out, and there's really no need for it.
And that's where you're at now, though. Yeah. You're representing filmmakers.
Yeah, I am. But I represent filmmakers like Joe, too, that are really savvy in delivering their films to their audience any way possible. And I think he knows his audience, and his audience tend to be the people that are aware of new ways to get their content and aren't going to be inconvenienced by show times or anything like that.
I mean, I agree completely. I think, and anytime you're taking media that is being shot with digital means and ones and zeros and you're editing it that way, there's no physical print anymore. I mean, the simplest, the cheapest way to get it to the public is going to be the best way to get it to the public. So it depends on how quickly technology can catch up with the idea of online distribution and watching those things in a different format than the little, YouTube type web video that we're inundated with these days.
We're going to get beat up on this because, I mean, I get beat up normally with comments about, you know, my thing is made to be shown in a theater. It has to be shown in a theater.
That's ridiculous. I mean,
but look at what that is. I mean, I think everyone is on their way to building their big home theater. I mean, things have changed from like the small screen to like the theater. I mean, everyone has surround sound or a plasma or a big screen. They're enhancing their home viewing experience, and I think that that's the transitional part of starting to take their content when they need it. And the market's so saturated with films and just other content, I think people want the access. That's the most important thing.
It's now a culture now. They want to see it right now. They don't want to go out somewhere to see it. They don't want to wait to a scheduled time is available. They want to see it now.
See, I love that. Right, you speak to the immediacy of, I mean, you are like, when I talked with him on the phone last night, he's talking about his business model a month from now. That's
every day it changes. I mean, there's nothing you can sit there with. I mean, every day something new pops up and like, we got to try this now, or we got to stop this because this isn't going to work.
Right.
There's no time to sit there and delay, because online you have the ability now to actually change your stuff on the fly. If you're doing something that's on TV or film, you're kind of locked into what you're doing. You can't really modify it right away. So I mean, and plus online is cheap. I mean, you can do stuff for next to nothing and not have to worry about having a big backlash from an investor or anyone else. What you do is immediate reaction. There's no delay in seeing what people think about it.
I like this home theater idea, and we know that the download and VOD and all this kind of stuff is going to interconnect with that home theater in a short period of time.
Right.
That's the sticking point. That's the missing link right now.
Right.
If you want to watch, 3-minute clips or 5-minute clips on a lunch break or something on, at your office or when you come home, it's no problem. Little screen, people can digest that. But I want to watch a 2-hour movie. I don't want to look at it in this tiny little window. I want to be able to sync that through to my TV system that I just spent $5,000 on or whatever.
Yeah.
So.
Although I will say, I'm watching these things full screen on my 22-inch monitor off of Vimeo and Exposure Room, and they look amazing. I mean, it's like
but you're not making a bowl of popcorn and walking into your office. You're still at your desk. You're still in that work environment, or you're not in that kind of relaxing family environment.
Exactly. Yeah.
And when that happens, it's going to be over. Game over.
And it still needs to be a one-way experience. I mean, you watching it on your monitor is still hooked up to your TV, and it's very easy to move around and to go everywhere else on the web. I still think movies and television still have that one-way experience.
Yeah, right. That is something that happens. Like I'm watching a clip and then my attention span is like 5 minutes, 4 minutes. So, unless the thing just grabs me. We all know there's a lot of shit out there, but I mean, some of these things just grab you and you're like, all right, I'm sitting here and watching it. I'll tell you what, the ones that grab me a lot are these wedding video filmmakers, because they're doing something that's emotional, it's powerful, and they create these 5-minute amazing clips that just get me. I stop what I'm doing, but when I see those little email things pop up and say, oh, you're like, oh, okay, got to go check that.
That's the distraction. Even if you're curious, you're more inclined to go look into it a little further, even before you finish. I mean, it's like the whole iPod syndrome. It's like it's impossible to listen to music when you have your entire library with you. You'll never get through a track. You're always on to the next thing.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that.
I mean, for the web to really become that powerhouse that it can be, it has to have a group of people that are willing to make content that can be something that's a water cooler talk, a Sopranos, Survivor Season 1, wherever that gets people talking. Once that gets done, the web is going to surpass TV. It's just missing that one crucial show that gets everybody talking about it.
What is the average length of the clips on your website?
The average, I would say, between 5 and 10 minutes. I mean, we go up to 20, 30 minutes, but generally it's 5 to 10 minutes. Something we want to move past, though, because that 5 to 10 minute clip is still YouTube mentality. It's a quick clip that you're just going to come watch and you're going to go away and you may watch it again, but you want people that sit there and that can watch a half hour and be occupied, not be running away, oh my God, I'm bored now. You want to get that quality in there.
I'm with you, and this is I had a little conversation with you about this, and really I absolutely believe every business in the world needs to have a video program on their website. I think you should have content on your website that's a regular show that can compete with 24. And has nothing to do with selling cars, nothing to do with advertising. I don't want to see or hear the word GM in the same way I don't want to hear
This is exactly what we're going to our clients right now with. Basically, how do we turn your product or your service into an entertaining clip that people actually want to share on Facebook or another social media networking site? And that's the whole point. The idea is to turn a wine company. How do we make this entertainment?
See, I don't want to do that. Well, that's cool. I have no problem.
Isn't that what you
with
just said?
No, I want to make a show that lives on Meridian Vineyard's website that people are like, oh, okay, it's Tuesday. I got to go watch my show. It's on Meridian. video.com.
You don't think it has to relate to the product or service
Nothing.
at all?
No, I think that's a huge mistake.
Fashion show, bikini contest for Meridian Weiss.
I think you can do that, great, if you want to, but I think that if you're dealing with the young, savvy buyers, you know, we had this conversation with Joe on the last FilmFellas. They don't go for ads or even kind of fake ads. I mean, yeah, you could do that. And if it's an enthusiast type of crowd, I think they'll go for that because these wine people will want info. But I personally think, how do I get people to the Gap or to General Motors on a weekly basis?
Do you mean more than sponsorship, as if they would all host shows like 24 where it's spread across, or like Meridian has an exclusive on this show?
I'm talking to all our indie filmmakers in the world there that they should create a show, you know, a webisodic show that is what they love. And if it's, you know, something like 24, that might play well on a Gap website. You got to make sure that that speaks to the crowd that we're talking to. Now, the onus is on GM or the Gap to sell them stuff.
Right, right.
You know, if you've got all these people coming to your website, which is what they want, and you're not selling them shit, the problem is you.
Right.
That's what I think the future is.
Definitely not. Selling people shit, there's no point in doing that. If I sit there and put a cell phone ad on there, it's from joescellphonechat.com, who's going to trust that?
Well, okay, go on.
Because you're not going to, even if you're a small website, even if you're a medium website, you're not going to get that big sponsor that's going to come in there, sell this new Verizon phone. This is coming straight from Verizon. You're going to get some offshoot guy that's going to be doing his own little cell phone shop.
Well, I'm disappointed because you're like against the old world guard, and you're hitting me with the old world guard.
Not the old world guard. The new world.
You're talking ads. Forget ads. I don't use the word ads.
The way that you get people to buy stuff is you have to integrate it perfectly in the show. If you're doing a comedy stuff, you have to do a comedy sketch around that product and integrate it in such a way where people aren't going to be like, oh my God, that's an ad, I'm turning this shit off.
Oh, see, I wouldn't do that. But that, hey, look,
it's been working for us, so I'm going to let it go.
Okay, and I appreciate what you're saying, but what the thing that people don't get from me is that I don't want ads on my thing.
Right.
Okay? I don't want to it's living on GM's site. At one point, somehow they'll have a spot or some sort of graphics that'll intrigue you to look at their stuff. The point is if I can bring 6 million people a year to GM's site, will some of those people buy cars?
Right. And splinter off and make it worth it.
That's my theory. I dig your theory, and it works for you. I just personally don't want to do that.
I think that's going to be a really tough sell right now. I think that might be, you know, eventually you get to a place where a brand like GM or, you know, a big brand will say, yeah, I want to produce content. It doesn't even have to have my product in it. It's just going to be entertaining. It's just going to draw people in. And that's all I really care about, because once they're there, they're on the site, we can feed them some other information or whatever. We have their info, and we can make a sale at some point. One of the products that we're pushing right now is called the Golf Buddies. And it's two lawyers. These guys are great. They kind of wanted to be in front of the camera and do their own little show or whatnot. And we started working with them. And it's just about golf etiquette. It's like, you know, standing on the tee box. Where do you stand? What do you do? What do you don't do? Things like this. And now we're approaching people like Ping and Nike and Callaway and all these other companies and saying, look, it's not about your brand. It's just a cool product. It's a cool thing. So it's kind of what you're saying, but it's an uphill battle right now. They don't quite get it.